We got a week until we're going back in the water, and everything's ready. You know, the lads have put the epoxy coat primer on over my glass job. They got the barrier coat on, ready to anti-foul. And then I was kind of lying in bed last night, and it just dawned on me that we need a depth sounder. We've been running without a depth sounder pretty much the whole time since we bought Nandji. We have the old little Hummingbird here. This thing is the biggest piece. You know, like the old Nokia 3310 phones, how you'd play Snake, and it's like the green screen with each square. Yeah, well, that's what that displays. So it's not really the most detailed or accurate piece of equipment, but it did tell the depth 30 or 40% of the time. Now that we're out of the water, now's the time to put a new transducer in, because I don't want to haul out again anytime soon, not for another couple of years. Whew, at the earliest. So now is the time to put a new transducer in, and with only a week to go, my back's against the wall a bit, I guess, because I'm not 100% sure how well this is going to work, what's going on, but we just got to rip out the old and try to put in the new. I would like to install a heap of B&G gear, but you know, like, we can't afford that sort of stuff, and B&G's hard to get where we are here in Malaysia, but the marina here is a dealer for Raymarine. I've done a bit of research on both. I've chatted to a couple of yachties around here about their setups. I guess the biggest thing is that we only have a week till we're going back in the water, and since we can only get Raymarine transducer here where we are without getting anything sent to us, then that's just what I'm going to put in. We have an old Raymarine chart plotter, but for our charts where we navigate, we just use iPad and the app Ice Sailor, which gives you raster charts, and we found it's extremely accurate, really easy to use, and it's we have all our courses and waypoints and stuff previously from the last few years of using that, and we have had no issues with that. We have multiple iPads these days as backups, where we started off we only had one iPad, and then I know, look at previous episodes where we were trying to get a charger to keep that iPad charged, so we had charts. But yeah, so we don't use the actual Raymarine C80 chart plotter that we have here in the cockpit, and because it is ancient, and so I guess eventually it'd be nice to replace all of this, but it all starts from point one with the transducer. And so because these days they all basically speak together, they're all an autopilot, depth sounder, chart plotter, radar, VHF, AIS, DVS, VHS, DCP, PCP, whatever, ABC, whatever other sort of combinations there are. A little bit of an exaggeration, but it all starts at one point, and since we're putting in the transducer, all we can get is Raymarine. In the future, everything will turn out to be Raymarine, autopilot, chart plotter, and all of that, which wasn't my first preference, but it is what it is, and when you can only get some stuff, that's just what you can get. I'm obviously we're not sponsored or we're not supporting any of these products. It'd be great if they did choose to help support Nandji. Calling out to any Raymarine B&G dealers. Any Raymarine people actually, because I'm going to put a Raymarine transducer in, so that's the option we're going to run with to start with, because there's so many different choices of chart plotters and depth sounders and all that sort of computer gear, but it all starts at the transducer. So all I got to worry about is putting in the transducer, and we can worry about the flow-on effect of what we install here in the cockpit, potentially on the nav station. Can worry about that for the future, but now we have a week till we splash, so I got to get the transducer put in to the bottom of Nandji. This is the old transducer. I've already cut the cable, and I reckon the hull of Nandji, this is the flattest bit of Nandji, so that's where it's going to go, and there's already a previous hole there, so I'm going to replace that hole with the new transducer. But this previous one, they've got this wedge here, and on the outside they've kind of built up a bit of an area, so it looks like it's glass, and so the bottom of the transducer is perfectly vertical, and they've done the same to the top here, obviously to make it watertight so the nut can screw on down in it. So I've taken the nut off here, and I guess I'm just going to have to smack it with the grinder on the outside to see how much needs to be done, because I've given it a whack with the hammer on top here and nothing is falling through, so it's well glassed in, this one here. So I'm gonna have to get the grinder out. I've packed it away. I'm gonna have to get the grinder out and just go ham on the outside. It's interesting. So now that I've whacked it with the grinder a bit, I can kind of see how it's been built, and there's like these two plastic wedges at the back here, and that's just full glass at the front, and it's kind of made a bit of a V, so I guess the water rushes past it, and this is all bronze down the bottom, so I guess this is the transducer part at the bottom, and there's all this glass, so it looks like I'm going to have to whack off this area. Figure you keep hitting shit with a hammer, something's got to give. And there it is. That's this old long brass bronze thing. There's anti-foul over the bottom of the sensor, so that probably didn't help its depth gauging abilities, but it still transferred through to the screen that said absolutely nothing. The new transducer that is going in is that it has a larger diameter than this old transducer, which means I'm not having to fill up any holes, so the installation part should be easy. I just need to drill a hole. So I'm probably just going to have to whack that hole with a grinder as well. Take off that glass, clean up that paint just so it's back to bare fiberglass. So then when the, I guess I set it in with 5200, and then when I squeeze the joint down, it has a good surface to bond to. Oh, more dust in my varnish. So I figured I'll just do a quick layup over this area. So I've wiped it down with acetone. Because I'm making the hole bigger, not smaller, this job is a much easier project. And so by having the glass down there, I could already have a pilot hole, and then I can have a pilot hole that I can drill through with. Yeah, and that'll make the hole bigger. Quick little layup. I thought the glassing was done, but one last little job. To install the new transducer, it needs to be the same as the old one. It can only be like between 0 and 5 degree angle. So I've had to build up a little flat platform on the outside, and I'll have to do the same on the inside. So I did this yesterday afternoon. I just cut up a heap of chop strand and built it out of fiberglass. And so it is just all glass. So I'll clean that up this morning. I still have the hole from the previous one on the inside, so I'll drill through with that, so I'll be able to get a center hole on the outside here. And then hopefully it's like smack bang perfect in there. I'll sand this all smooth, and then I can drill the other hole coming back up this way. You're kidding me. Well, that didn't work out as planned. When I was glassing, I know it was slipping around a little bit, so I was just kind of guessing. I really should have marked the hull with an outline to where to keep all the glass on the inside of, because I've just gone and drilled a hole through the middle of the hole on the inside, and that glass is way out of position. The old solar panels that are ripped off the davits of Nandji, I just thought they were a waste of space. They're obviously no good for making power, and I just wasn't really sure how I was going to recycle them, but turns out they're really good workbenches, and they were perfect for laying up this fiberglass. So we've got this mound made now. It's obviously too big, it's too far forward. So basically all this glass that I put up here, I'm going to grind off to an extent. I'm going to shape this, make it a big flat surface here, and then I can shape the edges around it. So this is our center hole. It just needs to be like 90 mil in diameter. So let's talk more grind. We're definitely getting closer. Just got to take a bit more off that front. Just got to make sure it's a perfect flat surface. It's looking pretty good, but I accidentally took too much off this outer edge, so we'll just work our way through again. Let's get a perfect, eh? Oh, that's pretty close. Both this way, it's in the bubble. This way, it's in the bubble. So I think the best thing to do is now bite the bullet, drill the hole, then we can see the edge. And from that I can make all this pretty and shape it in whatever direction I want to. But just make sure that it's perfect for the mounting, so it's flush up against the glass, so there's not a big space of 5200. Even though 5200 is really good gear and it'll fill the voids, I don't want to have like a 1mm gap that's 5200, if you get my drift. Alright, man up and drill a hole in your boat, mate. It's always the nervous part. Got Big Daddy pain on the old set today. It's just such a nervous thing. I might just double check this is the right width. Triple check. You'd think it would come with paper saying the diameter, but it's got the width, dimensions width 84mm. But then when you get the old tape measure onto it, 84mm is the width of the outside flange, not the hole to drill. So imagine pumping an 84mm hole through there, you'd be devastated. But it doesn't say anywhere the width of hole to drill. So thanks for your instructions. 60mm, definitely. Definitely 60. Hey, Mum.
Hi, I finally got any sleep.
Good work. You're the best, Mum.
Unsettled today, which is unusual.
You know you're the best Mum I've ever seen.
Oh, are you okay? Is your wrist okay?
Yeah. Fucking crabs. She's a bit of a beast of a drill.
You're right.
Yeah. Probably scared you more than anything.
Yeah, I just saw your arm go whoop.
I'm pretty happy with the shape of it, how it all finished. Old mate's come and put some epoxy primer on it, so that's all good to go. But the hole isn't all the way through yet. I glassed up the inside this morning, because yesterday when I got the big ass mandrill cannon thing, trying to drill a hole, I'd only glassed on the outside, and then once the pilot hole had gone through that, because there was that other hole on the inside, there was nothing to keep it in line, and it was biting, and that cannon of a drill, my hand is so sore today. So I'm going to accept my losses, admit that I'm not a big enough man to handle that piece of equipment, and I'm going to go help out another yachty here who I borrowed it from. Bit of a legend, Matt from SV Bryony Rose. They're a young family as well. They come over to fetch their boat. Their boat's been here for a couple of years, so they managed to find a way into Malaysia, and they're trying to get their boat ready to head straight back to Australia as well. She's pregnant, and they got a little baby on the way, so it's really nice for us who have just had a baby, and then already we're finding other yachties with babies. I guess they just attract each other, the kids, but it's really nice. But anyway, he's a bit bigger, stronger sort of lad, so I accepted defeat. I'm going to go help him do a job, and I'm going to see if I can't drag him over here to finish this hole off. What do you reckon? You up for it or what?
Yeah, fuck it. So you want it to go
It has to be like dead fucking perfectly square.
like that?
Yep. It'll play with your eyes a bit, but as long as you just got the drill just perfectly vertical.
Can't go any deeper, but it's fucking right up there.
Might have to go from the inside. Is the pilot hole through?
Yep. Money. Oh fuck, that's a nice hole.
And that's how it's done. Cheers, mate. Straight on in, hit him up, bang bang and outie. Just need a man to handle the man drill. Now that's a hole. Perfect hole, mind you. Alright, let's try to install this properly. Two-man job on the hands of one Yoshi. I covered up the face of the transducer here with tape, just because I don't want to get 5200 or make it dirty or anything.
It's not too hot for Tallulah this afternoon, so I've come down to give Yosh a hand. And we are installing the transducer, and so I need to help him by shoving this cable up through the new hole that he's drilled. Alright, we good? Do you want me to hold it up?
Pretty happy with the dry one. What do you reckon, boss? That was alright, eh?
Yeah, it was snug.
Alright, sweet. So I'm just going to go absolutely ham with 5200. I don't have a schnozzle, but it doesn't matter. So I'll cover with thread, I'll cover the inside here, cover this outer edge, cover all around the edge in here, just so there's absolutely zero amounts of water that's going to go in. Smack it in. Old boss will get you to hang on to it out here, and I'll go up and squirt more of this gear and thread it in from the top. Plan?
It would be good if you had a nozzle. Oh, it's just the most important thing.
Alright, boss. I actually found one.
Save the day.
Save the day again.
Yeah. This part is really important because it's going to keep the water on the outside of the boat. So we want lots and lots of it. It's nice that it's kind of squeezing out all the way around it, so that means that it's going to have a really good seal.
Sick. Yes, we have a transducer. For the first time in our life, we'll be able to properly see the bottom of the ocean. Now this should make anchoring a bit easier. Hey buddy, you won't have to tell us where to go. Oh, but you won't be able to for the next few months. Do you like Dad's transducer? Thank you. How'd you get? Get off the acetone, mate.